All right, we have one final day before we start moving tegus out. I'm walking through the enclosures, trying to figure out what needs done. You guys can see we've got a roll of metal and a bunch of hay. And those are the last things we need before we move our tegus outside tomorrow. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I get all of their hides ready. And we're going to be cleaning up all of these enclosures here, getting them ready, working on some drainage issues, and then patching up a couple enclosures to make sure that we are completely escape proof. It's going to be a busy day. Let's jump into it. Okay, so the first step I want to do is I'm actually going to be drilling holes in the bottoms of their hides. So let me tell you why. Last year we had a couple problems. We had some heavy storms, heavy rain, and some of their hides actually got water in it, from wind and rain. And so this year, what I decided to do is show you. I just flipped them over, just drilled out some holes in the bottom, just in case any water gets in there, it can just drain out right onto the floor and won't be an issue. I've already drilled the holes in all of these hides. I'm pulling them out and setting them in front of the enclosures right now because we're gonna just go ahead and fill them up with hay. I'm gonna show you how much hay I like to put in there, and then these hides will be ready to go for another season. Really been enjoying pulling out this camera and just filming this entire process for you guys of prepping, getting ready for the tegus. And I plan on continuing to pull out the camera all season. Show me some love and support by giving this video a thumbs up. It makes a gigantic difference and really does help the channel grow. Okay, it's time to put some hay inside of these tubs, these hides here. Here's the first one, and here's the hay. So I'm gonna just cut this off. Boom, and it's going to really just pop open. But what I like to do, this stuff is a little compressed, but we're gonna put it in here compressed. I'm not gonna fluff it. I like to leave it kind of together, and we add quite a bit. As you guys can see, I literally just fill it completely up. It bulges out the door like that. That's what you want. You put your lid on and you're done. This hide is now ready. Like I said, I like to fill it up really tight. That adds to the security that the animal feels when it's in there. They like to feel something all around them. It gives them a lot of security. It also helps with insulation. We are in Texas. The weather, we have to work with the weather. We still have some nights that are going to be dipping down I think 45 degrees some nights, probably coming up here soon, and this really helps with that. And that is how we are going to fill up the rest of them down the line. You guys can see we've got every single one of these hides full all the way to the top with hay. So the tegus are going to absolutely love that tomorrow when they get moved out. Whew, all right, time to put these hides back into the enclosure. Okay, we got all of the hides filled with hay, even in the arboreal enclosure, the arboreal tegu enclosure. Excited to see this thing in action. If you haven't seen this video of putting this whole thing together, well, I'll put a card at the top of the screen right now. These enclosures are looking awesome. I hooked up the dripper, and so now they will get fresh water automatically every single day. So if you haven't seen the video on how to hook up drippers, well, I will put a link. I'll put a card at the top of the screen right now so you guys can check that one out. But now we're working on these enclosures. This year I plan on using these a little bit of everything, but I'm thinking of mostly using them for females who are laying. So I'm coming through, I'm cleaning off the tops. We're getting these pine cones getting rid of them and putting them in the wheelbarrow as we go through the line. Because if I have the females laying eggs in here, well, what they're gonna do is they're gonna build a nest when that time comes, and they're gonna gather up all the material in the enclosure that's available to them. And pine cones are sharp. I don't want any of these sharp points poking those eggs if they happen to try to use pine cones in their nest. So I'm coming through, removing the pine cones and getting the pine needles off the top of the enclosure. Another thing that we're working on is leveling the enclosure out. Over the past year, what happens is I dump substrate in here just to give them some to push around and for enrichment, and it ends up being a little bit higher in the front and lower in the back, which means when this water bowl overflows, you can see where it's overflowing to the back. I want to reroute it, and we're going to have it overflowing this way so the excess water comes out into this open area and not back here where they like to hide. We are getting all the enclosures looking pretty. I'm gonna show you guys down the line what we just worked on. They look like this with all those pine needles, and we cleaned them all off the front, as well as leveled the enclosures because we want a slight slant to the front, and that was actually quite a bit of work. Here's all the pine cones that we don't want in there. But yeah, you can see, I'll show you, water bowl filling up right now, but we just pushed a bunch of the substrate to the back. Tegus love that stuff. Like, they love that thick substrate piled up and all the shade that these pine needles give them. Like you can see, it's just covered. The back half of their enclosure is just covered, but like I said, they enjoy that. So when we put them in here, they are going to love going through all this fresh soil that just got turned. You guys can see just how much is in there. Pine needles work great as a substrate for outdoor enclosures, not for indoor enclosures, but for outdoor enclosures works fantastic. So yeah, we're getting it ready, you guys. I'm working hard. I thought of something. Reptile breeders getting ready for a season with their reptiles is very similar to how people feel when they have like a holiday party at their house and all the family's coming over from both sides. That's kind of how I feel right now. I'm just constantly working, constantly thinking about what I need to get done, and every chance I get, I come out getting things done. If you guys enjoy me grabbing the camera while I'm getting this stuff done, then well, give this video a thumbs up. That really hypes me up and makes me excited to keep on making these videos. Here's one of our beautiful leopard tortoises. Came out this evening for a little snack. What's up, buddy? After leveling all of these enclosures, I can say that we are working really well now. I ran the waters all morning, and every single bowl is draining right out the front, just like how we want them to. Removed all these pine needles for just better viewing and sun exposure, but you guys can see it's draining right out the front and draining all the way out onto the floor in the front of the enclosure. So that is really excellent. These are working perfectly. We're going to be adding some hay inside of these enclosures. There's a piece of plywood back there. It goes all the way across. Like I said, they like having something all the way around them. That plywood gives them a lot of security, something to go under. They like it tight like that. See how it's barely up above the ground? They like it like that. But I'm gonna lift up every single piece of plywood down this whole line and back over there. And we are going to add some hay underneath there just to make it a little more cozy and a little better insulated. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be back with you guys. All right, so we're inside of one of the 8x4 enclosures, one of the ones that we have to crawl into if we want to get in here. And I'll show you what I mean. Here's the piece of plywood. It is on 2x4 right here and down on that side. And you see how the Tegus like to dig it out underneath here. We're gonna add hay in this area. Got my cart right outside. All we need is a bundle like this. We're gonna come in here, lift this up, and oh, there we go. Push it right back in there. Pretty compressed amount of hay. It's a lot. And yeah, so we just push it down in there, put this back on top, and you see how tight this is. The Tegus love this. They're gonna go under there. They'll create their little entrance and exit. And that's how I like it. I actually like my hides to be more kind of level with the ground. And it works really well. All right, this enclosure is now finished. And now we have to do it 11 more times. And then these enclosures, the not the walk-ins, but you know, this style of enclosure will be finished. So, all right, I'm gonna set the camera down and I'll be back with you guys when we're ready to do the next thing, which is gonna be something to do with this metal. Some insane progress. I'm getting excited. I feel good being this ready for the season. It feels really good. Hope you guys enjoyed all these videos. But all right, let me show you what we've done. Like I said, in these, you guys can see the hide in the back. We pushed hay underneath every single one down the line. Okay, all the way down, we got hay underneath them. Right here, you guys can see I have had a Tegu fit through here last year, and so I decided I'm going through every single enclosure and we're putting hardware cloth in between them. And like I said, we've done it everywhere, just got this one left to do. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on that. I'll show you guys kind of what we do to secure it and make sure no Tegus are squeezing through to see their neighbors, because you never know if the neighbor wants to see you or not. So that could result, seriously, that could result in it could result in a dead Tegu. So you gotta be careful and secure your enclosures, not only to where keep them in the enclosure to where they can't get outside, but so they can't climb into their neighbor's enclosure. As you can see, we've added the hardware cloth here. It's very tight. We've added it there. It's pretty almost everywhere. We've got it here. We have some here. It's a lot of work, you guys. We just need to put a piece on right here. All right, we got our cut piece. Gonna get some metal and we are going to attach it to this panel. All right, we've got this metal cut. I've got a few pieces of metal here that I pre-cut. I'm gonna just push this thing up against the wall and start attaching it. It's really all that's to it. So let's see here. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Today was just like the random things that needed done. Getting the hides ready, putting the metal up in between the cages. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said earlier, the next video is going to be unboxing all the tegus and putting them into these enclosures. If you guys haven't seen the series of getting ready for this season, there's been 4 videos uploaded, including this one. I'm going to put a link to all of them in the description below. Go and check them all out to hold you over until the mega unboxing video is going to be uploaded here in a few days. Be ready. I'm so excited. All right, I'm going to go take a little bit of a break. This has been a lot of work over this past couple weeks, and I'm so excited we're finally almost there. So, all right, I'll see you guys in the next video when we're unboxing the tegus. Holy smokes, I'm ready.